tea table. It's going to be our first video for Silver Tempest, and I wanted to start with a card that I've loved basically under every iteration. One of my favorite decks, all the way back to Skittles, that I helped make, to Ho-Oh EX, and everything in between. Super fun card. So we're going to look at a couple decks using the new Ho-Oh V from Silver Tempest. So let's get into what that does and then the two deck lists I have for you today. So you see your Ho-Oh V, colorless, 230 HP, weakness to lightning, resistance to fighting, 2 retreat, pretty generic there. It has the really sick ability, Rebirth Flames. Once your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put this Pokemon on your bench and attach up to 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. If you do, your turn ends. So, it's a really cool ability. And it does combo with its attack Rainbow Burn, 4 colorless, 30 more for every type of basic energy. So you can definitely build a deck around that. Probably be like Lost Zone based. So you can Mirage Gate, or you can do like kind of like you're going to see in the video today, an engine with this, and just a bunch of different basic energy and get it going super fast. But I'm going to use it in support of a couple cool Pokemon that I also like. So the first deck list we're going to put it with is Dialga V-Star. So for the rest of this video, I'm not going to pull up too many images because most of the cards are pretty self-explanatory or ones I've seen a million times. But if it is a key or new card, I will definitely bring up the image on the screen for you, such as Dialga V-Star. So let's see what that card does. So first you have its first attack. That does 40 plus 40 for each energy that is attached to Dialga. Each metal energy is attached to Dialga. So obviously you get a bunch of damage going. You get 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40, etc. etc. And you pump out the damage. So, but the main part of this card that's really cool is going to be the V-Star attack. That just says 220, take an extra turn. So, let you string together knockouts. If your opponent had a, maybe not an insane setup, you can get the couple of attacks off, and then you can just take your prizes and win the game before they can really do anything. So you're thinking, Josh, what does Ho-Oh have to do with this? Well, viewer, the Ho-Oh has to do with it because you're going to play Thornton, as you see there on your screen. Choose biggest Pokemon in your discard pile and switch it with one of your biggest Pokemon in play, and all cards, damage, etc. are on the Pokemon. So typically Dialga is built based on like Zacian V, attaching energy with ability, Metal Saucer, or Lost Zone variant to be able to play 8 Metal Saucer basically with Mirage Gate. But we're having a little fun with Ho-Oh. So you're going to want to put Ho-Oh in the discard pile, use the ability. Next turn, you're going to want to Thornton, Evolve, Profit. So how do we get all those cards in the discard pile? Well, that brings up the rest of the Pokemon. So you got the 2 Dialga V, you got the 2 V-Star, 2 Ho, 4 Mew. Look at the top 6 cards, take an item once during your turn. Kind of like last one where you string your Comfeys together. You look at that, take items because you want to dig through your deck as fast as possible. We do have 2 Deanceys in the deck list, which as long as it's active, your opponent basically cannot boss's order your basic Pokemon on the bench. So if you have to go second and you put Ho-Oh on, you don't super have to worry about it getting knocked out. Obviously, if they escape rope and do some stuff like that, or a canceling clone on the Deancey, nothing we can do about that, but that is okay. We have a Rangaroo, which his ability says trade the top card of your deck with the card in your hand, which combos with our Stadium or a couple of our trainers, which we'll get to in a moment. We got the Crobat V. When you play it, draw until you have 6. Lumineon V. When you play it, search for a supporter. And then we got Radiant Greninja, of course, 1 Radiant in your deck. Discard an energy, draw 2 cards. So we talked about Thornton, but there is another new card in this deck list that you're going to see in the other deck list as well. Serena, new supporter from Silver Tempest. Choose 1, discard up to 3 cards. If you discard any cards, draw until you have 5. So you might be going second. Helps you discard metals and Ho-Oh, as you do see a couple Metal Saucer 2 to help you get going. Or switch one of your opponent's benched V with their active. So if you can get the Dialga V-Star attack going, you could just use this as a boss's order to help take your extra turn and hit their attacker. So the items, we got 4 Pokegear. Look at the top 7. Take a supporter. There's only 4 supporters in this deck, and you got Lumineon. So the fact that Mew can grab this to kind of try and search for a supporter is pretty good. Sorry about that in the background. Popular guy. Then we got 4 trekking shoes. Look at the top card of your deck. You can discard it if you do draw, or just put it in your hand. So that combos with Ho-Oh and the metal, because you can Orangaroo it to the top of your deck. Discard it, draw a new card, get going. Same thing with Pokestop, Stadium. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck, put any items in your hand, so you can put that Ho-Oh on top, metals, etc. Get that going. It also combos pretty well because, what do we got? 4, 8, 10, 14, 18, 19, 20, 24 items in our deck. Combos very well with that. We got 2 energy search. Search for those metals, get them in your hand to attach or discard with one of our many outlets as we talked about. So I did put a couple metal saucers because sometimes, you know what, you're going to open Dialga. And I try to make this so, like, we have Ho in the deck, but we can also just be like, oh, I benched a Dialga, we can do that next turn as well. But you want to mainly go for the Ho-Oh. I did debate 0 Metal Saucer, but I was like, dang, this card's just good. So just attach a Melody from your discard to one of your bench metal Pokemon, aka Dialga V. Or I could let you like Thorn your Ho into Dialga, then Metal Saucer, evolve, profit. We got the 4 Ultra Quick Ball, discard cards, get Pokemon, discard your cards you want to discard, get better Pokemon, profit there. We got the 1 Escape Rope. We got 4 Scoop Up Net to reuse your Muse, get your DNC active, or more importantly, you can reuse Greninja, which is pretty cool. If you can do 2 or 3 Greninjas on your first turn, that's like insane. So that deck list pretty much runs as Ho-Oh into Dialga into extra turns into winning. So let's take a look at the second deck list. We got Darkrai V-Star. So this one doesn't use Ho-Oh as much. It still functions as a Darkrai deck, but Ho-Oh is like a bonus. So what Darkrai V-Star does, as you will see here, is 30 plus 30 for every Dark Energy you have in play. So you can tell that combos with Ho-Oh. You do turn 1 Ho-Oh, put it on your bench, attach the Darks, then do a bunch of damage on your second turn. But the best part of this one, despite us having 2 Thorntons in our deck, like the last list, you don't necessarily need to move Ho-Oh. So the Thorns are really in here because you might have Diancie or Mew active still, and then you could do that into Darkrai and attack. So you kind of let the Ho-Oh sit there. So while you could probably go to 1, I did stay with 2 because you can put your Crobat or other support Pokemon in the discard pile to get Darkrai out, or just bench the Darkrai anyway. So you could go to 1, but I think 2 should remain just for that reason. So then we got a Ho-Oh, we got 3 Mew, we got the 1 Diancie. I did drop a little bit just because Dialga works differently than Darkrai, and if you start Darkrai, it's like not that big of a deal because it doesn't really need all the energy on itself, so you could attack with it. That's why the Thornton does come in handy to get rid of that support Pokemon. We got, again, the Radiant Greninja, 1 in your deck, draw those energy. 2 Crobat V, draw those cards. And we got Galarian Moltres V. Its ability reads, attach a dark energy from your discard pile to itself once during your turn. Also does 190 for 3 and 30 to itself. So just helps power up again. We got the aforementioned Serena, discard those darks, same as the last deck, and profit, join CF5, or do that mini boss's order. So there is those 2 Thorntons like I explained. I kept 2 because while you may not put Ho in the discard pile, you're definitely going to want to put like Mew, Diancie, Crobat, things out there to get your attacker in play and get rid of those easy to knock out Pokemon. We do have the 4-4 Ultra Quick Ball to help fuel you. We got the 4 Scoop Up Net, just like the previous list. Reuse your Greninjas and Mews and have a generally good time. You will notice there's no Rangaroo in this list because it is not as important with the Thornton thing because you're just a Darkrai deck. But Ho-Oh is like a bonus inclusion. So we got the 4 Trekking Shoes, obviously, help discard here and there. 4 Dark Patch, attach Dark Energy from your discard pile to 1 of your Dark Bench. Unlike Dialga, where Dialga was the only Metal Pokemon, you have Darkrai, Crobat, and Moltres in here as well. We got 3 Pokegear, because not as necessary to hit the Thornton. You got the 1 Escape Rope, 1 Air Balloon, 3 Pokestops to discard, and you do 13 Darks, because you just need more energy in play. There is no Choice Belt in this list. I'm not going to pretend like there's some fancy reason. I'm going to be honest, I slightly forgot. But I'm not sure what I would drop anyway for it. You could probably drop the Galarian Moltres V, because it having a Dark is basically a Choice Belt. So you could, if you have 1 Dark, so you could do that if you want. You can also drop that for the Baby Galarian V that attaches the two Darks. Your choice on that one. I played Dark at a regional, and obviously as a whole, it's pretty close. I had Wheezing, but the way I got there seemed to work with everything I was doing with the Pokestop. Um, Now included in the list along with a couple other cards. So you can drop a Thornton, or unless you want to go the two Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is just a win more, which is pretty neat. I'm excited to see this one. I think Dialga might be better in the long run, but boy, am I going to play some Darkrai V-Star because that card is really fun. So those were a couple lists we looked at here. You got the Darkrai list there. You got the Dialga list here. Probably going to try these first when the set comes out because it shouldn't be too hard to get Ho-Ohs online. I don't think that card's going to be super hyped, but I'm very, very excited to try it. Let me know below what you think. Like, subscribe. Let me know your other Ho-Oh ideas. I'm always excited to run this card, especially with Thornton there. The combo writes itself. With that being said, that's some Ho-Oh decks. I'm Josh Hatter. This is the Tea Table, and I will see you guys next time.